day, good people. Welcome to Power Talk with Kgoshii M and obviously Miss Ofentse, who's a human resource practitioner, and will today be giving us insights on job etiquettes and what to expect when applying for a job, especially for young people now that the job employment has risen in our country. So help me welcome Miss Ofentse. Welcome, Ofentse.
Hi, Kgoshii.
Nice to have you here. As announced before, that today we are going to talk about employment, especially for young people, and looking at how young people suffering for job opportunities.
Yes.
So just want you as an HR practitioner just to give us insights on job etiquettes and what to expect when applying for jobs as young people, and how do we prepare ourselves.
Hi everyone. As introduced before, my name is Ofentse and I'm an HR practitioner. Well, Kgoshii, young people nowadays, I feel like we're more isolated than networking. Network promotes the space where you can be able to be yourself and know people and what to expect all day. Because I feel like if you put yourself out there, the more you know more, the more you can do better.
Yeah.
So in terms of employment, I'd say don't limit yourself. Yes, be in a sphere where you can socialize with people of your desired employment, know what's in the industry, know what's happening now. Yeah. And when you apply with your CVs, there are a lot of on how to apply videos. Let me just say that, because people tend to make mistakes in their CVs, and that just holds it off instantly.
Yeah, I can attest to that, because of I applied for a post and I was declined because of how my curriculum vitae was structured. Starting from the structure, coming up to grammar and spelling and all those things. I feel like we need to have someone who's going to oversee and just check and evaluate our curriculum vitae as a first-time job appliers, so that we can know of these things. And you mentioned one of the most important. I feel like it's important because of, especially to introverts. Introverts like to isolate themselves. So I feel like introverts should note that fact down, to say we need to network, we need to get out of our comfort zone, we need to get on the ground and get there to market ourselves. After all, at the end of the day, you are not doing it for anyone. You're just doing it for your portfolio.
Exactly.
At that time when you're going to reach 40 years, you have to start where you have started. You have to think where you have started. Along those, when you were young, along 20 years and above. So I feel like young people should take note of networking as an important factor in these job opportunities. And also, I was amazed on how other students commented on my post the other day. They told me that when they were applying for jobs, there are favoritism and nepotism involved. So I just want to know, if you as an HR practitioner, how do you deal with employers who hire maybe, let's say, families, or maybe an employer who's hiring his nephew or nieces? So how do you go on about that? Is there a policy that is issued around that factor?
Yes, well, nepotism is a big factor in terms of the hiring system. But remember, when you apply for CV, or when you submit your CV with all the required documents, there's a space where you sign, right? To show that you are the person who submitted, and if your signature corresponds with in your CV or those documents that needs your signature. So it's further in those times where we can see in the beginning, did you apply? Yes. How were you called? How were you what is it?
The criteria.
The criteria
that you use.
That you use. So you can trace back if there's such happening in the industry or in the space where you're in the company. Yes, thank you for that. Yes. So in terms of that, well, that is happening, true.
Yeah.
And
in most companies.
And then it is taken back to equality. right?
Yeah.
Yes. So in terms of that, as HR deal, there are a series of interviews we go to
through them. Yes.
Yes.
For evaluation, where you check
exactly,
them,
and how were you like I said, we trace back
selected. Yes.
Exactly.
Sometimes you find out that the surnames are the same in the same company. In the same hierarchy, actually, you find out that the department director or manager, it's using this surname. Also, the supervisor, same surname. You understand? And when you investigate, you find out these people are related somewhere somehow. So I think, to my capacity, companies need to have policies where they will allow at least two members of the same family to apply into that designated company, because we are looking at the job unemployment rate in our country. We are trying to say every household to have a job. So
Yes.
I feel like, as a human practitioner, a resource practitioner, we have to meet as a whole and discuss policies around it that can be amended into the legislature. And also, I was amazed on how most of young people, they have gone to school.
Yes.
There's no young person who's applying out there who's having a matric only. Now people have degrees, they have masters, they have honors, but then there's no unemployment. And when we were still studying back then, they were telling us that you have to have at least minimum matric,
Yes,
which is a national senior certificate. So I don't know what you can advise on that for masters and degree holders who are still awaiting job opportunity at home to do in this period of time while they're still waiting for a job.
So remember, when you apply through varsity to study towards your degree, they need to also check the sphere on how many people are there. And is there space to what?
In that specific qualification,
exactly. Because in some industries or areas, you can apply in terms of like there are a lot of unemployed people.
Yeah.
So in that should tell you, like, after applying, after studying towards your desired degree, will you get employment? It comes to that. And if there are a lot of young people sitting with the same qualification, what does it say to you? Yes. And then coming back to, what was the second question again?
No, I just wanted to know, what can they do in this moment of time when they're waiting for job opportunity? Because they're at home frustrated, right? So there has to be something that at least you can advise them to do, that way it can at least build their portfolio.
And coming to that, sorry about this, coming to that about building the portfolio.
Yes.
Remember, when you are in varsity or tertiary or any other tertiary institutions, try to get yourself out there in terms of vocational work, for experience, to show you you've been ready from the get-go. Because this thing of experience is actually discouraging to a lot of people.
And so many companies, it's a minimum requirement.
So in that 3 years or 4 years, you are in a varsity, try to get like a vocation, even if it's tutoring at your institution,
or something
book
like
clubs, something to
I
show.
feel like also volunteering to recognized companies that they can allow you to just maybe, even if it's for 6 months.
And that's one thing people minimize in their lives, or like take for granted. Volunteering goes a long way.
It's very
because
important.
if you can work, even though it's vocational, but if you can work for 3 years, volunteering, it shows the passion you have
for your career.
Exactly.
So
those things also contribute.
They speak volumes.
Yes, they have a lot of weight in terms of who you are as a person and what you believe in.
Yeah. Just to wrap up, Miss Ofentse and listeners at home, I think many young people, they have to listen to this episode and they have to take the advice that you have issued out today and take it to consideration, actually, to say, what is the first step that I'm going to take from now onwards, going forth, so that you cannot be the person that you were yesterday. So one of the fundamental things that Ms. Ofentse have mentioned today, she spoke about networking, which I found it very, very important. and also selling yourself in form of volunteerism, so that your years that you are at home cannot go into a waste. So guys, until next time, for now, let's cut it. Thank you so much. We'll meet next time. Thank you, Miss Ofentse.
Thank you so
Nice
much for
having you
having me.
here.